Hi everyone, Obi Malopi here. Welcome to Africa Media, Africa's biggest platform for all things eye care. Today, it's a different one altogether. I've got the awesome privilege and the honor to be hanging out with one of the most incredible human beings you'll ever find in the eye care industry. Erika, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
Very well, very well. I met Erika when I was a sales rep for one of the pharmaceutical companies, 2013, 2014, and the practice where she's working at used to be one of the practices that I would come here and sell them the product that I was selling. And every single time I would come here, Erika would be engaged in me. Erika was not like your typical front office person. She was always asking questions about the contact lenses that I was introducing to the practice, always asking me about my work, always asking me, Obi, how often do you guys get training on sales? How often do you get training on products and all of that? Because those are some of the things that I want to introduce in the working environment that I'm in. I feel like, this is what she used to say, I feel like I can contribute more than what I'm already contributing in the practice. And that stood out for me, Erika, that wow, I've not come across an individual who is so proactive, who is so intentional about making a difference in their working environment. And so today, we figured that let's talk to people that actually see patients the most. And that is the most valuable resource in the optometric practice, that being the front office staff. And so Erika is the best person that I can think of who can best represent the ideal staff member, if I can put it that way. So Erika, I know you, I've seen you over the years, I've seen you growing as an individual. You are actually, I don't know if you know this, but you are one of the first people who is not an optometrist to buy our books.
Yeah,
So
I'm enough that way.
There's just something about you that stands out. And so introduce yourself. The people that are watching this are people from Ghana, Nigeria, Botswana, Namibia, Morocco, Egypt. The entire African continent is watching you right now. So let's do this.
Okay, so I started the practice in June 2012, and I started out in the accounting department basically. And I was doing the invoicing, and as I was doing the invoicing and the PPN claims, you have to enter certain data. And I didn't know what the data was all about, I just knew how to do it. So I'm not a person who just need to know how to do something, I need to know why.
I like that.
So I came to our optometrist, and I'm fortunate to work for an optometrist who's very passionate about the profession. So I asked him, what is this about? I need to know the whys. So he took me through an eye test and explained everything. This is thermometry, this is why you do it, this is what happens if it's too high. So all of those things. And there I fell completely in love with why we do what we do.
Wow.
It's important. If you can spot an emergency soon enough, you can save a person's eyesight. You're in the position to make a difference to a person's life.
Wow.
Every single day.
Wow.
And that is, people underestimate the power frontline staff have.
Wow. Wow, I like your perspective when you say that you were busy doing with something, which was a duty, a task that you were
Yes.
given, but you wanted to understand more
About
why you're doing it, and you went beyond and actually understanding what's happening in the examination room.
Yes.
Because if you're understanding what's happening in the examination room, you are in a better position to communicate with your patients in terms of when they come and they want to make an appointment to say, I would like to book an eye examination. What is the process involved? It means now you are in a position to adequately explain to them that we're checking the health of your eye, we're examining the eye, we're asking you various. So that whole process, you are confident and comfortable to be able to do that. How did that shape your journey there within eye care? Because that's what you did that right in the beginning of you being in an eye care environment. How did that shape your attitude that you now have in the optometric practice?
It made me realize that if you understand the patient's situation sitting in front of you, you can help them so much better. You can advise them so much better. I have a very high myopic sister. She usually wears +6s. So she always said that she never knows what she looks like with her glasses on until she wears them.
Wow.
So to make a difference there, I will physically go and take a photo. My entire phone is full of patient photos because they cannot see without their glasses. What's the point? They need to see what they will look like. And especially with the lenses as well. Very thick lenses, kids get teased at school, all of those things. I went through that with her. I saw what happened. And if I can prevent that from happening and make a kid comfortable or a person comfortable, that's what you do. You give them best possible optics.
Wow, wow. You've grown obviously over the years. Professionalism within the optometric space. I mean, you're looking lovely as always.
Thank you.
I like the fact that you have your name tag. You know, people can see it as they approach you, who they're talking to. How important is professionalism for staff within the optometric practice? And what is professionalism for you? Let me put it that way around. What is professionalism for you?
The lovely thing about our jobs is you get to deal with people from all walks of life. You get the general worker, you get the CEO, you get the attorney, you get to deal with all kinds of people. And the big thing is to treat every single person with the same level of care and respect and love.
Wow.
If you don't love what you do, there's no point in doing it.
Wow. Wow, I like that. So that's basically the essence of what professionalism is.
How you do is your signature. What do you want to leave behind?
She works in the front of the practice. She's not an optometrist, but just listening to her right now, I'm blown away by just her level of thinking and approach to doing things. Were you always like that though? Or did you grow into it?
I've worked at law firms previously,
Okay.
but I've never worked this hard in my life. It isn't an easy profession. You don't always deal with the easiest people. People who cannot see is difficult. And that's how it goes.
All right. So let me give you. Let me ask you a
A
different
lot
way.
of blood, sweat, and tears.
Those difficult patients. I mean, there's staff members that are listening to this conversation right now, right? That staff member. I mean, that patient that walks in frustrated that the spectacles that they were expecting 3 days ago are now delayed. The optometrist is not here, the dispenser is not here, and you are the practice manager who now has to deal with those difficult situations. What is your approach in those type of scenarios?
Okay, number one, always under promise, over deliver.
Okay.
Rule number one. Right.
To avoid such.
To avoid such. But then you do, if you know that, I mean, you have a conversation with your patient. It is important. That's how you get information. You ask questions. You hear, okay, this patient is going on holiday. She's so excited. Okay, I need my glasses before. Okay, when do you leave? Always try to push to have it back 3 days before, so that she has time to adapt to her new glasses. Not wear them for the first time on holiday. It might not be adjusted correctly or something like that, and she's unhappy with her glasses. She's not enjoying her holiday.
I like that.
And she comes back really
I like
angry.
that because
So
a lot
you
of the
need to
times,
know.
I like that so much because a lot of the times, sorry to cut you in, but
No, it's
a lot of the times we always thinking a person is leaving on Friday. The glasses need to be here Thursday.
No, you need to have it Tuesday.
Tuesday already, so that they can already adapt it, adjust it to the. I like that. Absolutely brilliant.
And always the main thing that I learned from our optom is always do within your capacity. So you will never be able to please everyone. You cannot. Don't strive for perfection because you'll fail every single time.
True.
But you can get pretty damn close.
I like that. Speaking of the optometrist that you just mentioned, how important is the relationship between optometrist or practice owner and the staff?
Extremely important. Extremely important. If you have a really good team,
Okay.
if you have a good team, you can achieve a lot. If you know that your optometrist is brilliant, our optometrist is brilliant. If you know that you have staff that you can depend on, and you work well together, every single person plays their part. Everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses. So you play each person on his strengths. That's one of the things I learned in your book. So each person has their strengths, and you play them accordingly. So it just runs so smoothly.
What do you actively then do to grow those relationships within the practice, you as Erika? Because you obviously, your pace, you're getting it obviously from the optometrist. At the end of the day, it's his or her business, right? But you're also responsible because you're the one who's interacting with your team every single day. How do you drive people? How do you push people? How do you pull people? How do you keep them motivated? How do you keep them when they are down, when they feel like they're not operating at the level at which they're supposed to be operating? What are some of the things that you feel from your role within the practice you do actively in getting them to the level that they're supposed to be?
That is one of the more difficult parts of being manager. I started out as just a general person, employee,
okay,
right? And then when I got moved to a management position, it was very hard for me to adapt. Because you're too soft or you're too hard, or it's finding that balance. Early morning meetings is extremely important. So everyone knows, okay, this is what happens during the day. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're expecting. Always be prepared. That is one thing. Is always be prepared. Frontline, you cannot always prepare because we do see a lot of walk-ins. But be prepared as far as possible. And in terms of keeping everyone motivated, it's important to have fun. Without a sense of humor, you won't survive. You at least need a little bit of sense of humor. So just be a family. We a family.
I like that. You mentioned the early morning meetings on a daily basis, sort of like keeps everyone in check, so that they know exactly what is expected of them or what is expected of the practice for that particular day.
Yes.
And you mentioned the aspect of, having fun as a team and understanding that you're all different. And that's what I've seen here, that there's so many cultures that are represented here, from the optometrist to you, the rest of the staff. I don't think there's more than 2 people from the same culture in the practice. Everyone is so diverse. Does that add a lot of value to the practice?
It does. Especially when it comes to language barriers. A lot of the older Afrikaner people would prefer to speak Afrikaans. We've got that. Different languages, we've got that. So every single patient that comes in can deal with a person that they feel comfortable with. It's important. If I go and ask somebody isn't feeling, even if you look at different personalities, everyone here is different. I might be overwhelming for a very introverted person. Because, oh, it looks so good.
And then that
and it feels a little awkward, where someone would prefer a little more supple, quiet person. So they will go to the person that they feel comfortable with.
Right.
And that's important. You need to accommodate everyone.
I like that. So you guys are constantly working on that culture within the practice, that you can have your own identity.
You have your own identity.
And you can be able to interact with patients accordingly.
It's important to keep your authenticity.
I like
If
that.
you're authentic, you can be happy. If you have to pretend, it's a problem.
I like that. As a practice manager, I'm sure you have those days where you don't feel like coming to work.
Never.
Come on. I'm
the person who's on holiday and I come and visit. So.
I've got that same problem. I think a lot of people are always asking me, Obi, you're always smiling, you're always like this hyper.
Yes.
And I think it's good to hear that I'm not the only one then. There's also someone like that.
No,
So,
I'm the person who will pop in to check that everything's okay, even when I'm on holiday. Yeah.
Wow, that makes me think of you understand how important what you do is. You see yourself as a difference maker in the practice.
Yes.
So the question then I would have is, that person that's watching here, who has been in that particular practice for 10 years, and they have not developed their skills enough within that practice, and they've got nowhere else to go. They just need to make this work. How do we ignite that passion in them? How do we get them to see the potential of them being able to build a career within optometry? That person who's demotivated, who's needing inspiration, who's needing motivation.
Find an aspect about practice that you love. There must be a reason why you were chosen for that position in the first place.
Like that.
Right? So find an aspect that you really care about and let that evolve.
Like that.
Do research. Knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can help, the better you feel.
Like that.
If that person is happy because of a suggestion you made, you put that glasses on that kid's face. We have a little patient, she has a -10 in the one eye, -5 in the other eye. And her previous glasses looked awful. She's 6 years old.
Sure.
She's in school. So the one lens is this thing, the other one is a bit thinner. She got teased. So we tried getting her onto contact lenses, but she was struggling a lot, right? Especially with sport, those kind of things. It's dangerous wearing glasses. So I suggested that we do a 167 index lens in the one and a normal lens in the other. So not normal 1.6, just balance it out a little bit. And we did a little crystal Oakley frame, and the crystal actually hides the thickness of the lens quite well, because you don't see the difference between the lens and the frame. And when the mom came to collect the glasses, the mom actually started crying.
Wow.
I am so happy, thank you so much.
Wow.
That's the difference you get to make every single day. And it's awesome.
Wow. This is not just a job for you.
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
You get, life out there is hard enough. There's enough struggles. So if you can take that person that walked into your practice and make them actually feel like a human being, not just part of the process.
Wow.
It's supposed to make you happy.
I like that. I've seen you on social media. You know, when it comes to patients, products, new technology. As a staff member, you not say that is the responsibility of an optometrist. You are actively going out of your way to learn more, discover more, so that you can have a better understanding of what it is that you are working with. Do you feel that a lot of staff members are not as proactive in doing that? And if they're not, like, should there be more training? What can the industry do to get people to just realize that, you know what, there's so many responsibilities that I can actually be responsible for here? Because I don't think people get appointed into leadership. People work themselves into leadership. That's how I always see things. That because of what you're taking responsibility for, you automatically then end up finding yourself in a leadership role. Whereas a lot of times people are expecting to be in a leadership role, but they're not actually doing stuff that is leading them into a leadership role. So do you feel that there's enough training in the industry? What can be done from an industry point of view for staff members?
I think that staff members are neglected a lot.
Okay.
If there was more training available for staff members, yes. I go online and I look at talks and all of those things, but I'm informed. I have a couple of people that I follow. I mean, even just in simple customer service based programs, everything is online, but you cannot replace human touch. You cannot replace human touch. So customer service is a very important aspect, and I feel that that is quite lacking. Staff underestimate themselves.
Okay.
I think a lot of times staff might feel limited to what they can and cannot do, but open yourself up to possibilities. do research, read, look at videos.
Wow, wow, I like that. I like that. So the staff themselves
Listen to talks. You, unfortunately, no one is going to push you. You need to decide how can I make a difference, and then just go for it.
Wow. Wow.
And product knowledge is extremely important. If what I like to do is every time there's a new product coming out, I will test it. I will order myself a pair of glasses with those lenses, and I will see how it works. So that like Phoenix lenses, I physically tested. I hit it 20 times with a hammer, it didn't break.
Wow.
So I can tell you it's not going to break, and I have faith in what I'm saying.
You're not sales pitching someone. You're speaking from what you experience.
You're giving a solution that you know will work.
So that has actually helped you then, whereby the more knowledgeable you are about different components of the practice, the more confident then you become.
Exactly.
When you're dealing with patients of all kinds.
Exactly. You can confidently tell that person, this is a solution that is going to work. Night driving, this will work. PCUs, this will work.
Wow, wow. As a staff member, one of the things that, like Erika is constantly saying, if you're picking this up, is that be proactive. Literally be proactive. Go out of your way. Don't just wait for the optometrist to be the one giving you the information. Don't just wait for the optometrist to be the one telling you what to do. Look at opportunities within your working environment that you can take advantage of and be intentional about implementing that. I mean, what I've always been picking up from Erika is that she spots something, she immediately looks at, okay, let me see how this can actually be implemented in the practice. She takes it to the optometrist, she takes it to the team, and the entire team makes a decision on how best to position that particular aspect within the practice. So be proactive. It will literally change not only your life as an individual or as a professional, but the entire practice dynamic completely will evolve and change. And you'll be amazed at how, see, when you're winning, one thing I've realized is that when people are winning within the practice, how they are, how they work, their attitude, their personality gets to be changed completely. So I'm getting that from you, that you want people to win. You want your team to win. You want your patients to win.
I want them in our practice because I know here they will be taken care of.
Wow.
That's the main thing.
Wow. Erika,
if I'm not here, I know that there's people who will still take care. You want them in your practice. If you're a good team, you know your patients will be taken care of. So you want every single patient, if it is a repair, if it is an adjustment, you want them here because you know here they will get the best service.
Wow.
Here they will be looked after.
Wow.
That's the main objective.
Wow. So that goes to service excellence.
Yes.
That you literally are saying that you know the excellent service that you're giving, that you're providing, and so you get confidence in being able to tell a patient, this is what we can deliver on, as opposed to you not being sure. Wow, I like that. I like that.
So as long as you know that the main thing is care. You have to care. If you care, you can move mountains.
I like that. I like that. Erika, you are an inspiration. Thank you so much for just being the awesome person that you are. I'm fully confident that the industry is going to be blown away by what you're going to be contributing into the eye care industry. You are phenomenal. We need to have you in lecture halls, speaking to students, final year students, second year students, third year students. So I'm going to talk to your optometrist. It makes absolutely no sense why someone as smart, sharp, brilliant as you are restricted in one practice doing amazing work. The industry needs to see more of you. The industry all over the continent needs to learn from you. You need to be collaborating with people who are like-minded as you, who are also working with staff, who are also working in practices. And I think you guys can be able to come together, and Africa Media will do that for you guys. We'll create a platform. So if you're interested, Dr. Daryl Glover and Dr. Imani Tarim are fully behind this. But if you are interested on Africa Media, we would love to create staff members tab where leaders like yourselves can be able to utilize that platform to just grow and add value to the industry, so that what you are doing here in this practice can grow. So I'm going to make another appointment with the boss man and get his buy-in, so that we can put you in front of the camera, we can put you in front of people, because you are doing incredible work. You inspire me, and I'm sure a lot of people who have watched you speak today are inspired by the work that you are doing. So thank you so much.
You're
and we
welcome.
look forward to what the future lies ahead with you.
I just want to thank you for this opportunity, and then just remind everyone, don't underestimate the value you add in your practices. You're the first contact a patient deals with.
Like that.
So always, like I said again, if you have a good team and you know your patients are taken care of, always try to keep them in your practice where they're cared for.
I love that. I love that.
Never underestimate your value.
Wow, that is so powerful. That is so powerful. Everyone, that is Erika. This was another great episode of Africa Media, the biggest media platform for all things eye care on the African continent. Make sure to connect with us on our website, www.africamedia.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, connect with us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and of course our Facebook page. We look forward to coming into your practice, your country, and just doing amazing work and featuring you on this wonderful platform of ours. Take care, everybody.